Vegeta pulled his fist out of Jiren's stomach, and the strongest warrior in the multiverse stumbled backward. Jiren clutched his stomach. His face was twisted in shock. He had never felt pain like this before. He looked at his hand, and there was a small smudge of purple energy burning on his uniform. It was sizzling like acid. Jiren looked up at Vegeta. Vegeta was not looking at him. Vegeta was looking at nothing. His eyes were pure white. There were no pupils. His face was blank. He looked like a statue made of muscle and rage. The purple aura around him was not flowing like fire anymore. It was heavy and thick like oil. It dripped off his body, and when it hit the ground disappeared. It did not break. It just vanished into nothingness. Vegeta opened his mouth and let out a sound that was not a scream and not a roar. It was a low vibration. It sounded like the earth grinding together. He vanished again. He was so fast that even the angels watching in the stands had to squint their eyes. Vegeta appeared above Jiren. He clasped his hands together into a hammer. He smashed them down on Jiren's head. Jiren raised his arms to block, but the force was too heavy. Jiren's knees buckled. He smashed into the ground. The rock floor shattered into dust for miles around them. The shockwave hit the barrier of the arena and made a loud gong sound. Goku was lying on the ground nearby. He covered his face to protect himself from the wind. He looked through his fingers. He saw Vegeta landing on top of Jiren. Vegeta started punching. Bam, bam, bam. Each punch was slower than before but much heavier. Each punch shook the entire world of void. Goku felt a knot in his stomach. This was not the Vegeta he knew. This was a monster. There was no strategy. There was no technique. It was just pure instinct to destroy. Goku yelled out to Vegeta. He told him to stop. He said that Jiren was already down, but Vegeta did not hear him. Vegeta was lost in the deep ocean of power. Beerus was gripping the railing of the spectator seat so hard that the metal bent. His eyes were wide. Whis looked at Beerus. Whis said that this was dangerous. He said that Vegeta's mind was gone. He said that the power of destruction was consuming his soul. If Vegeta did not wake up soon, his body would crumble into dust. Beerus nodded. He knew this, but he could not look away. He saw the raw potential of a destroyer god. He shouted at Vegeta. He told Vegeta to control it. He told Vegeta to own the power, not let the power own him. But his voice was lost in the noise of the explosions. Jiren was lying in a crater. He was angry. He was Jiren the Grey. He was the strongest. He could not be beaten by a mindless beast. Jiren roared. His red aura exploded outward like a bomb. It pushed Vegeta away. Vegeta slid back on his feet. He dug his fingers into the ground to stop himself. Jiren stood up. He was breathing hard. His uniform was torn. He had a bruise on his cheek. Jiren glared at Vegeta. Jiren said that strength without a mind is useless. He said that a beast cannot defeat a warrior. Jiren concentrated his energy. His eyes glowed bright red. He moved his hand and fired a barrage of invisible punches. The punches hit Vegeta. Boom, boom, boom. Vegeta's head snapped back. His body shook, but he did not fall. He did not even flinch. He just took the hits. His body was numb. The destruction energy was acting like armor. It was eating the attacks before they could hurt him badly. Vegeta slowly walked forward through the storm of punches. He looked like a zombie. He reached out and grabbed Jiren's energy blast with his bare hand. He crushed it. The blast turned into purple smoke. Jiren stepped back. For the first time in his life, Jiren felt a tiny drop of fear. It was not fear of losing. It was fear of the unknown. He did not understand what Vegeta was. Vegeta lunged at Jiren. He grabbed Jiren by the shoulders. He brought his forehead down and smashed it into Jiren's face. A headbutt. A loud crack echoed through the arena. Jiren stumbled back, holding his nose. Blood trickled down Jiren's face. Vegeta did not stop. He grabbed Jiren's leg. He spun around. He threw Jiren. Jiren flew through the air and crashed into a giant pillar of rock. The pillar collapsed on top of him. Frieza was hiding behind a large rock far away. He was watching the fight with sweat dripping down his face. Frieza was terrified. He had seen many scary things in his life. He had seen planets explode. He had seen Beerus get angry, but seeing Vegeta like this was worse. It was worse because Frieza knew Vegeta. He knew Vegeta used to be weak. He knew Vegeta used to be a servant. Now Vegeta was a force of nature. Frieza whispered to himself. He said that he needed to be careful. If that purple energy touched him, he would be erased forever. Even his halo would not save him. Frieza decided to stay hidden. He would let the monkeys kill each other. Goku stood up. He wiped the dirt off his face. He looked at Vegeta. He knew he had to do something. If Vegeta kept going like this, he would die. Goku powered up. He went into Super Saiyan Blue. He pushed it to the limit. He added Kaioken times 20. His body turned red and blue. He flew towards Vegeta. He landed in front of Vegeta. He put his hands up. He told Vegeta to snap out of it. He said that the tournament was about survival, not death. He said they needed to work together. Vegeta stopped. He looked at Goku. His white eyes stared at Goku's face. He tilted his head. It was like a wild animal looking at a strange object. Then Vegeta raised his hand. He slapped Goku. It was just a slap, but it had the weight of a mountain. Goku flew sideways and crashed into the ground. Goku coughed up saliva. He could not believe the power. Vegeta did not even use a blast. Just his hand was enough. Vegeta turned away from Goku. He did not care about Goku. He only cared about the strongest energy, and the strongest energy was Jiren. Jiren burst out of the pile of rocks. He was furious now. He floated up into the air. He decided to end this. He raised both hands. A giant ball of fire energy formed above him. It was orange and red. It was huge. It was as big as the spirit bomb. The heat was intense. The air in the void began to boil. Jiren threw the ball at Vegeta. He yelled that this was the end for the Saiyan. Vegeta looked up at the giant ball of fire. He did not dodge. He did not block. He opened his mouth and roared again. A beam of purple light shot out of his mouth. It hit the giant fireball. The purple light spread over the fire like a virus. It turned the orange fire into purple dust. The giant ball disintegrated in seconds. Jiren watched his attack vanish. He was stunned. Vegeta jumped up. He flew through the dust of the destroyed attack. He appeared right in front of Jiren's face. Vegeta punched Jiren in the gut again. This time Jiren was ready. He tightened his muscles. He took the punch. It hurt, but he did not fly back. Jiren grabbed Vegeta's wrist. He squeezed. He squeezed so hard that Vegeta's bones creaked. Jiren looked into Vegeta's empty eyes. Jiren said that he had seen enough. Jiren punched Vegeta in the face. It was the perfect punch. It hit Vegeta squarely on the jaw. Vegeta's head snapped to the side. Jiren punched again, and again. Jiren was using his full speed now. He was faster than instinct. He was hitting Vegeta hundreds of times in a second. Vegeta's body started to fail. The destruction armor was breaking. Cuts opened up on his skin. Blood flew into the air. Jiren finished his combo with a massive energy blast to Vegeta's chest. Vegeta fell from the sky. He crashed into the ground. He lay there still. The purple aura flickered and died down. It became very small, just a thin layer over his skin. In the stands, the Supreme Kai put his hands on his head. He said it was over. He said Vegeta had burned out. Beerus did not say anything. He just watched. He was grinding his teeth. He knew Vegeta was stubborn. He knew a Saiyan's pride was stronger than his body. He whispered for Vegeta to get up. Inside Vegeta's mind there was darkness. Vegeta was floating in a black, empty space. He was alone. He felt cold. He looked around. He saw images floating in the darkness. He saw himself as a child on planet Vegeta. He saw his father, the king. He saw Frieza laughing. He saw himself coming to Earth. He saw Goku beating him. He saw himself crying on Namek. He saw Trunks dying by Cell's laser. He saw Bulma hitting Beerus. He saw all his failures. A voice spoke in the darkness. It was a deep voice. It sounded like Beerus, but also like himself. The voice asked him if he was done. The voice said that he was always chasing others. He was chasing his father. He was chasing Frieza. He was chasing Kakarot. The voice said that a destroyer does not chase. A destroyer stands alone. A destroyer determines his own fate. Vegeta closed his eyes in the dream. He clenched his fists. He shouted that he was tired of being second. He was tired of waiting. He was tired of rules. He opened his eyes in the dream and they were on fire with purple light. He said that he accepts it. He accepts that he is broken. He accepts that he is not a hero. He is a weapon, but he is his own weapon. He would not be controlled by the instinct. He would control the instinct. He would take the destruction and make it his own. Back in the arena, Jiren was floating down. He thought Vegeta was unconscious. He turned his back on Vegeta to look for Goku. But then the ground started to shake again. It was a different kind of shaking. It was rhythmic. Thump, 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 like a giant heartbeat. Jiren stopped. He turned around. Vegeta was standing up. But something was different. The wild animal look was gone. Vegeta wiped the blood from his mouth. He opened his eyes. They were not blank anymore. They were deep violet. They had pupils. He looked focused. He looked sharp. The aura around him changed. It was not messy and dripping. It was like a coat of dark flames. It shaped itself perfectly around his body. His eyebrows were gone, but his face looked calm. He looked regal. Vegeta spoke. His voice was rough but clear. He said that Jiren hit hard. He said that hurt. He cracked his neck. He looked at his hands. He flexed his fingers. He said that he finally understood. He looked at Jiren. He smiled. It was the classic Vegeta smirk, arrogant and proud. He said that the power of a god of destruction is not about losing your mind. It is about focusing your mind on one thing, result. Jiren frowned. He said that Vegeta was stubborn. He said he would just knock him down again. Jiren charged at Vegeta. He threw a punch. Vegeta did not dodge. He caught the punch. He caught Jiren's fist in his hand. The shockwave blew the rocks away, but Vegeta did not move an inch. Jiren's eyes widened. Vegeta squeezed Jiren's hand. He leaned in close. He said that damage makes him stronger. Every time Jiren hit him, he got stronger. That was the power of Ultra Ego. Vegeta headbutted Jiren. Then he kicked Jiren in the chest. Jiren flew back. Vegeta chased him. This time, Vegeta was fighting with skill. He was using martial arts. He was blocking and countering. He was mixing his Saiyan fighting style with the destruction energy. He punched Jiren in the stomach. Then he blasted him with a purple beam. Jiren was being pushed back. The strongest warrior was losing ground. Goku was watching with his mouth open. He smiled. He said that was the Vegeta he knew. He was happy. Vegeta had done it. He had mastered the power. Goku felt a fire in his own belly. He wanted to catch up. He wanted to reach that level too. But for now, he was happy to watch his rival shine. Vegeta and Jiren fought across the whole stage. They destroyed mountains. They destroyed the floor. The stage was getting smaller and smaller. The Grand Priest announced that there were only 5 minutes left. The time was running out. If the time ran out, Universe 7 would win, because they had more fighters left. Jiren knew this. He knew he had to knock everyone off quickly. Jiren powered up to his absolute limit. His shirt completely ripped off. His muscles grew huge. His veins popped out. His aura turned into a giant storm of fire. He looked like a demon. He screamed. The sound broke the sound barrier. He charged at Vegeta. He hit Vegeta with a clothesline. It was a massive hit. Vegeta spun in the air. Jiren grabbed Vegeta's leg and slammed him down. Then Jiren fired a blast point blank. Vegeta disappeared in the explosion, but he came flying out of the smoke. He was laughing. He had blood all over his face, but he was laughing. He shouted that it wasn't enough. He needed more pain. He needed more fuel. He flew right into Jiren's attacks. He was trading hit for hit. For every punch Jiren landed, Vegeta landed one back. It was a war of attrition, but Vegeta had the advantage of getting stronger from damage. Jiren was getting tired. Vegeta gathered energy in his hand. He formed a sword made of purple light, a spirit sword of destruction. He swung it at Jiren. Jiren dodged, but the sword cut his cheek. Jiren touched the cut. He looked at his blood. He was shocked. He had not bled in years. This Saiyan was actually hurting him. Jiren felt anger, real anger. He shouted that he would not lose. He had sacrificed everything for strength. He would not lose to someone like Vegeta. Toppo was watching from the sidelines. He was injured and could not fight. He saw Jiren struggling. He shouted encouragement. He told Jiren to remember his wish. He told Jiren to fight for Universe 11. Jiren heard him. Jiren remembered his past. He remembered his parents dying. He remembered being weak. He refused to be weak again. Jiren's eyes turned white. He unlocked a hidden reserve of power. His aura turned white hot. Jiren moved so fast he was invisible. He hit Vegeta with a punch that broke Vegeta's ribs. Vegeta gasped. He fell back. Jiren did not stop. He hit Vegeta again and again. He was juggling Vegeta in the air. Then Jiren clasped his hands and hammered Vegeta down. Vegeta hit the ground and bounced. He tried to stand up, but his legs gave out. The damage had finally become too much. Even with Ultra Ego, there was a limit to how much a body could take. Vegeta lay on the ground, breathing shallow breaths. Jiren stood over him. Jiren was panting too. He was tired, but he was still standing. He raised his hand. He prepared a final blast to knock Vegeta off. He said it was a good fight. He said Vegeta was a true warrior. But it was over. Just as Jiren was about to fire, a yellow beam hit him in the back. Jiren stumbled forward. He turned around. It was Frieza. Frieza was standing on a rock. He was in his golden form. He was pointing his finger. He laughed his high-pitched laugh. He asked if he was interrupting. He said he could not let the monkey have all the fun. He said he wanted to play too. And then Goku appeared next to Frieza. Goku was back in base form. He was exhausted, but he was smiling. He said that they were still in the tournament. He said they were a team. Even if they hated each other, they had to win. Android 17 jumped out from behind a rock too. He dusted off his jeans. He said he was still here too. Vegeta looked up from the ground. He saw his team standing between him and Jiren. He saw Frieza. He saw Kakarot. He saw the android. He felt a strange feeling. He usually hated being helped. He usually hated relying on others. But this time, he felt something else. He felt relief. He realized that he had done his job. He had weakened Jiren. He had pushed Jiren to the limit. Now his team could finish it. But Vegeta was not done yet. He was not going to just lie there. He forced his body to move. He groaned. He pushed himself up on his hands. His arms shook like leaves in the wind. He stood up. His legs were wobbling. One eye was closed. He looked terrible, but he stood. He walked to stand next to Goku. Goku looked at him. Goku asked if he was okay. Vegeta spat blood on the ground. He said he was fine. He said he was just resting. He looked at Jiren. He flared his purple aura one more time. It was weak now, but it was there. He said they had to finish this together. He said he would destroy Jiren's defense and Goku could do the rest. Jiren looked at the four warriors, Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and 17. He was alone against 4. But he did not look scared. He looked determined. He said, "Come on." He said he would defeat them all at once. The final battle was about to begin. The arena was just a few floating rocks in the void. The time was almost up. Vegeta looked at Goku. He asked Kakarot if he had any secret plans. Goku scratched his head. He said he did not have much energy left. He said he could maybe do one big attack. Vegeta nodded. He said he would make an opening. He told Frieza to distract Jiren. Frieza looked annoyed. He said he did not take orders from monkeys, but he moved anyway. Frieza fired death beams at Jiren. 17 fired energy blasts. Jiren blocked them easily. While Jiren was distracted, Vegeta charged up. He gathered every last drop of destruction energy he had left. He was going to use a technique he had never used before. He was going to use the final explosion, but instead of life energy, he was going to use Hakai energy. It was a suicide move. If he used it, he might destroy himself, but he did not care. He had to win. Vegeta screamed. A giant sphere of purple light expanded from his body. It grew bigger and bigger. It covered the whole arena. Jiren looked at the light. He felt the danger. He tried to push it back, but the light was too strong. It was pure erasure. Vegeta was burning his very soul to fuel the attack. He yelled Jiren's name. He yelled that he was the Prince of Destruction. The light swallowed Jiren. It swallowed everything. The camera went white. The sound cut out. There was silence. When the light faded, Vegeta was standing like a statue. He was grey. His color was gone. He was turned to stone. He fell forward and hit the ground. He was out of energy. He was completely drained. He had used everything. But Jiren was still there. Jiren was kneeling. His shirt was gone. His pants were ripped. He was bleeding from everywhere. He was shaking. He was barely conscious. But he was not knocked off. He had survived. He stood up slowly. He looked at Vegeta's unconscious body. He raised his hand to blast Vegeta off. But before he could fire, Goku was there. Goku appeared instantly. His eyes were silver. His hair was silver. He had unlocked Ultra Instinct again. Seeing Vegeta sacrifice everything had triggered something in Goku. Goku looked at Jiren. He did not speak. He just stared. Jiren stepped back. He felt a new fear. The real fight was just starting. Vegeta lay on the ground dreaming of destruction, while Goku stood ready to fight with the power of angels. The two paths of the Saiyans had finally diverged completely. One went dark, one went light. Both were reaching for the level of the gods. To be continued in episode 4.